As promised today, we've got the return game against Tranmere. We're going to try and get that... Oh, for 3, 2, 1. As promised today, we've got the return game against Tranmere. We're going to try and get revenge on them for the last game. Can't have my old club beating me twice in one season. That'd be madness. And before that, we've actually got a nice FA Cup game against Newcastle United. That's not really the big news, though. The big news, though, is that currently, as the league stands, currently second. Bigger news is Tottenham are top. How are we doing, everybody, and welcome to part 5 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where, as mentioned, we've got that FA Cup game against Newcastle United. It's the FA Cup 5th round, and then after that, we are going to be playing Tranmere. We're going to have them at home this time. We went back to the Tranmere Stadium for the first time since leaving last time. Not last time, actually. It was a couple of videos ago. But we lost against them. And we want to beat them today on our patch. That's the plan. And if you're excited to see whether we can do that, I'm so excited I nearly knocked my phone off the desk. Please leave a like on the video for me. And subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content that comes out of this face right here. Since you were last with us, everything's really good. As you can see, we are second. That is more about the teams around us faltering than it is us doing really well. Having said that, currently unbeaten in February. We had a very good January as well. We did lose against Arsenal and Aston Villa, so we have dropped a few points here and there. But there have been some examples of us playing some just superb football. Again, it was the United game, I think. It wasn't a United game, actually. It was around FA Cup. It was City and Leicester, wasn't it? So you saw around here. It's not been that long, actually. We beat Norwich. We lost against Villa. We shellacked Chelsea. This was glorious. Oh, I had fun with this one. Beat Bromley with a heavily rotated team in the FA Cup 4th round. Leicester and Brentford also went to the sword. Brentford got absolutely demolished by us. And then Veloso and Pinamonti put Man United away. And now we have Newcastle, who, last time we played them, I can't actually remember what the result was. I've got a feeling we didn't do that well. We beat them 3-0. Shows what I know. Things to report. Tommy Gardner is back and he has scored a goal recently, which is good. Pinamonti is on fire. If we look at the Premier League in a bit more closer detail, you'll see Pinamonti, second best top goal scorer in the league. I nearly said second best player in the league. He's not, but you get what I'm saying. Erling Haaland's only scored 20 at this point this season. Pinamonti, only the one behind. I think that's great. Good to see Richarlison, actually, in second on assists as well. I haven't actually looked on here to see who's next closest. It's actually Tommy Gardner with 9. And then after that, we've got no one on the list. So we have been relying on our strikers, but I think everyone else has chipped in. Mainly because we are the best goal scorers in the league. So everyone else must be chipping in a healthy, low number of goals for us to get to there. In terms of assists, actually, who else is on here? Yeah, we've got a few more here. Marcos Antonio's on 9. Marles is on 7. Springett is on 6. Marles has been fantastic, actually. He has really stepped up in recent times. Veloso as well. So much so that if I show you transfers, I don't know whether it will be on here. It is, in fact. So we have made some more transfers. I'll go to the other screen in a second, but the main one I want to show you is we have actually signed Joe Veloso on a permanent. He's not our permanent player yet, but he will be at the end of the season. He's superb. He's a model citizen. That's exactly the personality trait that you want. It's the golden one, or one of the golden ones. He's 3.5 star, current ability, 4-star potential. He will be increasing in wages, but it also means his value will go up as well. But he's been superb. Very, very happy with him. Goal contribution assist-wise, it's not about that. His build-up play has been exceptional, so I'm very, very happy with him. I can't remember whether Ugarte was confirmed, but it has been confirmed he will be joining us at the end of the season. So Tapia will go out on loan next year unless anything dramatic changes. But I think Champions League quality central midfielder. He'll come in, he'll do a job for us. I'm very happy with that. And then we've also signed this guy, James Price. He's an English wonder kid. Why wouldn't I sign him? He's down as a striker. He can play out on the wing. We've signed him. We've sent him back to, I think, Swansea, and he's going to play there for the rest of the season, and hopefully he'll grow a little bit more. We'll get him in the summer, and then we'll decide what to do with him. I've got a feeling we'll loan him out again, unless we move other players on. If I quickly also show you the transfer history, I don't think... Oh, yeah, there was a couple of other ones. So, I think Dale Benford... I think that one had already happened. If it hadn't already happened, it was in the offing of happening. That got confirmed. We also signed Thomas Lamar. Now, this seems like a weird one because he's 32 years old. He's not the best player in the world. The reason why he's come in is because we actually sent out Tyler Dibbling out on loan. The reason we sent Tyler Dibbling out on loan is very simple. I think he needs more first-team football, and he's not going to get it here. He's going to have the occasional chance. So we sent him out to Strasbourg. He's already made 3 appearances for them. I don't know how well he's doing, but he's getting football, and that's what matters. We also sent out our young goalkeeper, Sam Roberts. He's a 5-star potential goalkeeper, 2-star current ability. He's gone out to Ipswich. He's conceded 4 goals in his last 5 games. He's doing all right. He's doing okay. But again, I know he's only 17, but he's a Wales international. Let's get him the game experience now, so he can grow into an absolute superstar. And then on deadline day, we also signed Alex Hisek on loan from Chelsea. I've looked at this guy before. He looks pretty special. I'm not counting on signing him on a permanent, but if he does okay this season, I would consider it. We were also looking, I'm going to see if I can try and find him. This guy, we were looking at this guy, but United snuck in and got him. He was still in Brazil at Flamengo, and my word, he looked like an absolutely superb player. But I didn't really have anywhere to fit him in, so I shot myself in the foot. I tried to say that we'd send him out on loan. He agreed to that, but then United came in for him. He's made 3 sub-appearances. One of them was against us in the game we beat them in last time out. But he looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm gutted we missed out on him. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm really happy with the squad that we got. Lamar's in on loan for the rest of the season. So is Benford. Injuries are starting to come back as well. I think the only player out still is Southampton. We have actually lost Tapia for a good chunk of the season, up to 2 months. But everyone else has come in. Paco Alcacer, he's retiring at the end of the season. I'm going to offer him an under-21s or under-18s contract as a coach. But we'll see what happens. But actually, we've also been playing Hoyenhal. We sent Bazunu out on loan to give Hoyenhal a bit of space so he can start playing. And to be fair, so far, he's looked alright, actually. He's kept a clean sheet. He's conceded 1 goal in the FA Cup. I can't say much more than that, to be honest with you. He's looked really good. He's a wonder kid at the end of the day. I don't know if he was a wonder kid when we signed him, but he is now. 18 caps for Norway. And he's going to start for us today, which brings us to today's fixture against Newcastle United. And this is the 11 that hopefully is going to put them to the sword in the 5th round. It is Hoyenhal in goal, Livramento, Borno, Pavlovic and Hickey in defence. Lavia, Marcus Antonio in the midfield with Marles, Veloso and Richarlison supporting Pinamonti up front. I haven't rotated the team as much as I normally would. I was considering possibly starting Herolds, maybe even Tamara. It's the one thing with Tapia's injury. Tamara has had a bit of a chance to come into the team recently, which has been good. I was considering starting some of these guys, maybe even Tony Springett, but I kind of want to go as far in the FA Cup as we can. So we're going with the strongest 11 and Hoyenhal, who probably will be our #1 goalkeeper next season. I'll be honest, I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen. There might be a chance that Lunin has 1 more year with us. I doubt it. I feel like, well, he might, to be fair, he might have many years with us. He just might have them as backup. You know, we came here to get away from being Manchester, from Real Madrid's backup, and he's gone and potentially become our backup. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm suspecting it probably will happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But we've got to get through first. I mean, this could be his last game for the season because it's the last cup competition we're in. Right, Marles gets it to Pinamonti. It would be a shame, though, because he has looked pretty decent in the games that we played in. But then Lunin has been pretty solid for us. He's had the occasional kerfuffle where he's messed things up. Richarlison's in here, you know. And Richarlison has blasted it past Diogo Costa. And it's 1-0. Marcus Antonio with the assist. He started the season so poorly, Marcus Antonio, and he's really stepped things up in recent times, and I am here for it. Tino Livramento has just come back from injury, by the way. Really calmly pushes it across the ball now, who gets it to Antonio, and it's a lovely ball across. I thought he was looking for Pinamonti, and Richarlison actually drew a lot of space out for Pinamonti, but he managed to do it all on his own. He's done that a few times this season and missed, and it's absolutely infuriated me, so it's nice to see it actually work for a change. And it's 1-0, and I'm very happy about it. Very happy indeed. Another reason why we signed Thomas Lamar, again, he is here as a cover option. He's not going to be starting many games, but he's a really good set-piece taker. So if we think we need set-pieces against the team, we've got him. That's a looping header over Hoyenhal, and it's a bit disappointing to concede that. And Cuenca has him. The Newcastle player has scored. He's equalised. He's made it 1-1. Bit disappointing to concede from a corner like that, but Traore whips it in. And it's a looping header. The goalkeeper kind of goes the wrong way a bit there. A bit of a misjudgment. He is only 20 years old. He is going to make the odd mistake here. I'm less harsh on him purely because in the nicest possible way, he's 20, Lunin's 29. Lunin should know better. Newcastle have absolutely swatted us in this game. We are not playing well at all. We are terrific value for 1-1, really. We've been absolutely shocking in this game so far. Starting to step things up a bit now. I've drawn attention to it, which is nice to see. Diogo Costa gets it to that guy, Luis Alberto, who I'm sure there's a real player called Luis Alberto. That's not him. That's a new gen. Gets it to Yuri Alberto. I wonder if they're related. Isaac now looking for options. And this is the Newcastle team I've been expecting. They haven't played like this season from everything I've seen. They've actually been quite poor. So it's nice to see Newcastle actually starting to go through the gears and play like they should. I'd rather them leave it to a team that isn't Southampton, though. Right, Marles tries to intercept there, but can't quite get there. Marles just hanging on to Fontaine, trying to get the ball off him, doesn't manage it. Goes back to Cuenca, into the other Luis Alberto now. Out to João Cancelo, of all people, on the right full-back position for Newcastle. Whipping it out, looking for Traore, down to Ruben Neves. And that would have been a spectacular goal. But Hoyenhal, redeeming himself a little bit for the goal he conceded. Good solid save. Good solid hands there. But it is another corner for Newcastle. Newcastle really putting the pressure on. It's a little bit concerning to see just how much they're dominating us. Lavia's having a shocker, and they've got another corner before the end of the half. And I'm getting a little bit concerned here that we are going to get dumped out of the FA Cup. To be honest, we're doing well enough in the league that we don't need to do well in anything else. And I do need to talk about the league as well, because I'm aware that some of you might be out there looking at it going, Stu, that's Charles, that's really one of our best players out there at the moment as well. That's so annoying. Right. I've talked him up. Thomas Lamar's going to come on. He's going to come on as a winger, actually. We'll pop him up out there. And we'll get those set pieces out there because I think we're going to need them. I mean, to be fair, it's still 1-1. I'm acting like we were a goal down. They've just utterly dominated us. Yeah, we need to talk about that. Second in the league. I know. I would question it. I would very much question it if I hadn't played through it myself. The truth is, this team and the system we've got it in has just clicked really, really well. And I think a lot of the bigger teams around us are not doing so well. Look at the fact that Spurs are top of the table. I'm sorry, Spurs fans. I know you get it all the time. But in all seriousness, Spurs are top of the table. They're probably going to win the Premier League. And we're doing our own little bit of a Leicester hanging around in the Champions League spots. It's utter insanity. It is utter insanity. We are really, really not playing well here at all. I mean, we've had a run of games where we've not had a lot of time between them. We had the game before the United game, which I've forgotten about. Then we had the United game, and then we had this one. The most gap we've had is between the last game and this one. It was like 2 days. So, in all seriousness, we are a tired team at the moment. We are going to have to make some changes here because we are shattered. Livramento's had the worst game of his career. The worst game since he's come back, certainly. Pavlovic has been solid since he's come in, and he's really not played well. I'm actually going to bring on... I can't actually bring the kid on because I've taken him out of the team because he was on loan from Manchester United in the last game and I haven't put him back in. Right, Lavia's coming off for Tamara. It's 3 changes. I'm looking at Marles, and Marles is not playing well at all. I'm very tempted to go to 2 up top, giving them a few problems. It's a bit of a gamble to do that so early on, but what we were doing against them was not working. I'd rather go down swinging with a bit of a gamble than not adapt at all and watch us just completely and utterly capitulate, because they have been knocking on the door for long enough that I do think they're going to get something from us at some point. I'm interested to see how the lads will actually handle. I've just thought we're quite narrow at the moment. We should probably widen up a bit. That would have been a spectacular goal. Widen up a little bit. I don't know how our lads will handle going from a system that relies on a degree of width to a system that instead he's going to be playing mainly through the middle. We've got the personnel to do it, and I'm just hopeful that we can do something about it. Right, Tommy Gardner on the ball here. He has scored 1 goal since his return, but he hasn't looked brilliant, actually. He had that explosion of form at the beginning of the season, and then that injury just curtailed everything. Right, we've won the ball back here. Antonio, flicking it over, looking for Gardner. Gardner just... he's got pace, but he just didn't quite have enough there to get on the end of it. And Diogo Costa manages to deal with it, and it's floated forward to Pavlovic. Pavlovic launches it up to Luis Alberto, looking for Pinamonti now, the pass, but it doesn't find him. Yuri Alberto now, and Newcastle on the break again. It's another Pavlovic, actually, in their defence at right back. I didn't realise there was more than one of them. But all of a sudden, I'm a bit concerned because I feel like Newcastle are about to score. Alvaro Rodriguez is in, and he has, and it is 2-1 to Newcastle. And you cannot say it hasn't been coming. It really has been. And we have let ourselves down on that, to be honest. We really have. We should be playing a lot better than we are. And it is concerning that we're not. But it is what it is. Lamar's not had a good game since he's come on. Tommy Gardner's not been great. Pinamonti's been awful. Got Springett on the bench. But again, I mean, you can play in the central and midfield. But actually, the central midfielders are probably 2 of our better players. We'll take Veloso off for Springett because Veloso is tired. Oh, and we'll just see whether... I'm going to fire the boys up. Let's just see whether we can get an equaliser. Don't think we're going to. I think... I'm willing to hold my hands up here and admit I've probably ballsed this up by changing the tactic as early as I did. It was with the right reason. We were getting absolutely overrun and overloaded. And we just weren't able to cope with them. So we tried to do the best form of defence is attack. And it really hasn't worked for us. However, poor pass from Lamar. It's a very poor pass from Lamar. Better than that. He is better than that. Right. Get the ball back now. Pavlovic. Into Jimenez. Jimenez looking for options. It's passed to no one. He's looking for the winger there, and there's no one there. Normally, that would be the right pass to make, but it isn't on this occasion because we don't have anyone out wide. Again, I fear my mistake completely. We'll go back to having 2 out wide. Gardner's in. He's got to be offside, though. It's a lovely chip, though. It's in the box. The flag is up. I've got a feeling that isn't going to be given. I've not got confidence that that's going to be given. Being checked. Flag's actually gone down. It's been disallowed. Right, I'm changing the system again. We're going to go back out wide. I know it's still incredibly aggressive. Try it. Last few minutes. Just see what we can do the last few minutes. But I think we're out of the FA Cup here. Right, Pinamonti can't win the header. It goes out wide to Pavlovic. Got a couple of minutes left of added time. Try and get an equaliser here. 5th round, I don't know whether it would go to a replay. I don't know whether it would go to extra time or penalties. I'm not sure this far in the future how far it would go. Right, Hickey goes back to Hoyenhal. He's been beaten twice today and I'm not overly happy with it. Both of the goals weren't particularly spectacular goals to concede. And Traore's in here. He might make it 3. He nearly has. Pavlovic managed to clear practically off the line. And we've got just over a minute left. I don't know if the highlight will continue. It is continuing. It's continuing with them on the ball. We've got a minute left now. We need to get the ball and go up the other end and try and score. Not looking good for the Tranmere game, is it? Having said that, the last time we played Tranmere in that episode, we won 1 game, lost 1 game. The game that we won was the one that we were thinking we would lose. And the game that we lost is the one we were thinking we would win. Maybe this time around it'll be the other way around. This is the more likely game for us to lose. Again, Newcastle are a very good side. But we should be beating Tranmere. They are still on the foot of the table. But Norwich aren't that far ahead of them. It's the team above them. I think it's Leicester, who I'm not too sure of. I think it's probably very unlikely for them to survive. Just as it was for us in those last few minutes for us to survive in the FA Cup. But it wasn't to be. We're knocked out. It is what it is at the end of the day. Newcastle are a good side. We've overachieved all season. We've got to come short somewhere. And we come short here. But I think we can hold our heads up. It was a poor performance, though. We have to admit. We've got a nice week-long break here. We'll give the players a day off. Give them a bit of a rest. 2 weeks out for Richarlison is not good. But we were comprehensively stuffed there, if we're being completely honest. And it is a bit concerning. I would have liked to have seen Hoyenhal goalkeeper a little bit better. I will be having a word with him. But yeah, I mean, this is a Newcastle side who are currently in 5th. So they are very, very good. They're only 5 points behind us. 4 points off the top. No. Stop it. Stop it, Stu. Don't talk about it. Right. We're going to go ahead to the Tranmere game. And again, just to confirm, Tranmere are foot of the table. Only 3 points behind Norwich, but they are a full 14 points behind Leicester. I would suggest Tranmere are getting relegated. Very, very much. I mean, it's 18 points between them and Forest. It's not mathematically impossible, but it's a couple of games. It's like 3 or 4 games away from being mathematically impossible. So, see what happens. But yeah, let's skip forward and let's see how we do in the game against Tranmere. Couple of changes for the game against Tranmere. Mostly are enforced changes, to be honest with you. So we have lost Joe Veloso to injury. He's only a small one. He'll be back in 4 days, but he does miss this game. But Richarlison is out for up to a week on top of what he's already been out of as well. So those guys are out. So we have drafted in some extra players into the side. So Jimenez has come back in. To be honest with you, he has been my go-to recently. He's actually grown really well. He's actually a 3.5-star quality player if you play him in the right position. But I don't typically like using fullback. I prefer using wing back. So we're sticking with it. He's training on it. Hopefully he'll get better at it. So he's in. We've also brought in Hezek. He's come in again because of the injury to Veloso. And Lewis Murray hasn't played a lot of football recently. He played in the under-21s not that long ago. So he has got some game time under him. And we've also brought in Thomas Lamar because of the injury to Richarlison. I was tempted to bring in Tony Springett, but Lamar has got a bit more recent match time. He's been playing for the under-21, so we've gone with that. And this is the 11 we're going to go with. It's Lunin in goal, Jimenez, Borno, Pavlovic and Hickey in the defence, Lavia and Marcus Antonio in the midfield with Marles, Hezek and Lamar supporting Pinamonti up front. And we're hopeful that that's enough of a team to get us 3 points against a team we should be beating here. I was going to put this on attack and I didn't do it. I'll do it when the match starts. But yeah, this is a Tranmere side that are struggling. They're bottom of the table. They're about 18 points adrift. There's, including today's match day, I think there's 27 points technically on the board. So we're hoping that they don't have this miraculous upswing today, because if they do, I'll be very, very cross. Right, Lamar with the free kick. Hits the post, and Fisher has to catch it. Don't know who Fisher is. He was the goalkeeper they had last season. He's not the guy I signed. But yeah, we're hoping that they don't have this dramatic upswing today, because if they do, I'll be very, very cross if we lose against them 2 games in a season. I mean, we've been all over them in this first half. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. We battered them in the first game, and then they just came out and snuck it. Nice to see Zach Emerson on the pitch. He didn't play in the last game that we played against each other. I don't know whether he scored a Premier League goal. I really hope he has done, but it's nice to see him out on the pitch. Right, Marles now, looking for Pinamonti. It's poor from Pollock, and Pinamonti's there, and he's put it in the back of the net for his 23rd of the season. I think that's his 20th in the league, and we do lead by a goal to 0 through Andrea Pinamonti. It's been coming since the first game we played against them. And why is Romeo Lavia man-marking Tommy Lee? We need to investigate that. I rarely man-mark. But I think I did it when we played Man City. I think I got Lavia to man-mark Kevin De Bruyne just to stop him from being able to do anything. Because he's slow as anything, Kevin De Bruyne. He's retiring at the end of this season. And I think I did it, but forgot to put it as a one-match thing. Pavlovic nearly scoring, and it goes out for a corner. So I think that's probably... That might have been affecting us in games. That could have even affected us in the Newcastle game if that's just been a constant thing. Can't believe I haven't noticed that until now. Right, Lamar whipping it in, looking for Borno. Borno heads it just over, and it remains 1-0. 1-0 is a danger score. 2-0 is a danger score. Lads, if you can provide me with 3 goals today, I'd be very happy about it. Right, Lamar whipping it in, looking for the head of someone. Borno's there. Again, it's just over. We have trained our set pieces recently. You wouldn't know it so far. They've not been the best, but we are having the chances. We are dominating the game completely. I mean, they are playing a very defensive formation. I mean, they're used to playing 3 at the back, but their version of 3 at the back is so defensive. Right, Pinamonti down to Lamar. Lamar actually loses the ball there, which isn't great, and I think Springett could be coming on in the second half. Right, Borno looking to start the attack again. Goes out wide to Hickey. Hickey now looking for options. I should have put some youngsters on the bench, because if we start to get a high score, I would have brought them on. Right, I think Pinamonti might be offside here. It's been held anyway. It is offside. Check those eyes out. Not wearing my glasses, but I can still see an offside from half a mile away. Right, 18 shots in the first half, 6 of them on target. Tranmere doing a really good defensive effort, but it has to be said, we should be up by more goals. Right, Antonio, not happy with how he's played. He needs to start pulling his finger out a little bit. We need to tell him to not get sent off. And we're going to tell everyone, just keep playing, but, you know, let's go out there, let's make a difference, shall we? Right, I actually think we'll bring Antonio off, we'll bring Holt on, let's give him some football. Lamar, he's actually playing okay, so we'll leave him on for now. We'll just have that as the one change. Let's tell Herold, go out and make a difference. Herold is a confusing one, because his passing is getting better, his playmaking is getting better. However, he's not very consistent. I know I was very excited when we signed him. I actually might sell him in the summer. Or even I might hold on to him a little bit longer and then sell him. Because in the nicest way, he's going to be way more valuable than when we signed him. We could generate some serious money on him. I'm looking at him. If we sell him and keep Tino, and we hang on to Livramento and get rid of him, we generate a lot of income. And all of a sudden, we've got a war chest to go and make this team properly competitive in Europe next season. Or he learns how to be consistent, because it's only orange in the scout report. It's not actually like the dark red one, which means they're not consistent at all. Marles really should be making it 2 now. I'm not happy with the fact that we've only got the 1 goal. I'm really not happy with the fact that we've only got the 1 goal. We should be 2-3 up with the amount of chances that we've had. Granted, they've had a very good defensive effort. Having said that, we've also had a lot of opportunities that have gone wide. Right, we're going to do that. Pinamonti chips in, puts it over. I'm just going to make sure these guys are doing what I want them to do. I don't want them just hoofing it in. I want them waiting for the right opportunity, because we're having so many chances, but we're not taking them properly. I mean, I don't know what that was. I missed that because of doing all of the instructions and stuff. We really should be winning by more than 1 goal here. And actually, this has not been a problem we've had all season. All season, we've been really, really good at getting the ball in the back of the net. Today, we've just seemed to have had a real problem with doing it. Now, we've had a lot of chances, granted, but having a lot of chances means nothing if none of the chances are on target. Passing's getting a little bit sloppy as well. All of a sudden, Tranmere seem to be coming back into the game a little bit. And they've gone and equalised. What? I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid. Tranmere go and equalise. I'm berating the team. I'm furious with them. 26 shots, 7 on target. They've scored with their only shot. Right, we're making changes. We're making changes. No one's even playing that badly. That's the thing. Right, Hezek's coming off. Lewis Murray's coming on. We know Lewis Murray's a good player. The defence are nervous for some reason. Why are y'all nervous? Seriously. Right, Pavlovic is coming off for Collins. And I'm also going to bring on Dale Benford. We're going to bring those guys on purely because they're not nervous. And, yeah, that's the only reason, really. Just don't like the fact that they're nervous. Right, get out there and make a difference. And the last change might end up being Tommy Gardner coming on. I want to fire up. Apologies if you can hear that clicking. I just wanted to get that in as soon as possible. Right. Can we go and score a winner, please? Because I'm not... If they get 4 of their... What would be... I don't know what their points total would be. But if they get 4 of their points this season from me, their former manager who left them in the lurch in the summer, I'm going to be livid. Right, Benford gets on the ball here. He's already got a yellow card somehow. Whips it into Pinamonti. And Pinamonti's got it in the back of the net. The flag's not gone up. We're going over to check VAR, but the flag's not gone up, which makes me think that we've got that and we've scored it. And Pinamonti's got a second here. I think it will get given. It has been given. We go back in the lead. I can breathe a little bit, which is glorious. Right, Lewis Murray. I've just brought him on. I'm kind of regretting it because I want to bring Tommy Gardner on. I don't really know what the best way to bring Tommy Gardner on is tactically. I think we'll sacrifice... Take Levere off. Give Levere a bit of a rest. Bring Murray into the midfield. He's not a ball winner. Tackling's not bad, to be fair. Do that. Don't know why I'm going 2 strikers now. I'm going 2 strikers now, I think, purely because I want to prove a point and get another goal. Tommy Gardner can come on again. He'll be an advanced forward. Just do that. A bit of pressure on them at the end of the game. They've got a corner. Got a corner. O'Brien's there. Looning with the clutch save. I tell you what. They have been really good value with their performances. To a degree. I mean, I'm saying that. I'm still disappointed. That looks over the line to me. I'm still disappointed because the amount of chances we've had today, I mean, it's absurd compared to them. We should be 3 goals ahead. They shouldn't have even scored a goal. And yet somehow, it's a bit of a spicy affair, but somehow we find ourselves in this position. Right, Marlis is in. He's got to make it 3. He does make it 3. And now I feel a bit better. They had set up very defensively. There is the added thing of it being my former club. There is also the added thing of them in the relegation dogfight, which they really, really need to get points to try and help. And there's also the added thing that they beat us earlier in the season, and I want to keep that momentum up. Having said that, we are very much the better team, and we've proved it today. 3 goals to 1. We haven't made it as easy as it should have been, but it's 3 goals to 1. Or is it going to be 3 goals to 2? Because Doyle has got a free kick. From what I remember, he's relatively handy with the free kicks, trying to float it in. Oh, man. Well, no, it doesn't win the header, but Looney manages to hold on to it. And I think that's the game. We will remain in second place with 8 games to go. We had to work for it. We really, really had to work for it. I'm telling the boys, that performance wasn't good enough. We won by 3-1, but it wasn't good enough. And Tranmere rot on 11 points at the bottom of the table, which is very sad to see. But Norwich, only 2 points ahead. But it's that 13 points of Leicester that's the concern if you're Tranmere. And it's 19 points now for Nottingham Forest. With 8 games to go, it's 24 points left on the board. I think we knew it at the start of the season that Tranmere were going to be struggling. And I very much think they're probably done. I don't think they're going to be able to get back now. Really don't think they are. Speaking of getting back, when are we going to be back? We could go to the end of the season and see how things are for those games against Liverpool and West Ham United. We've got a run of games of Wolves, Forest, Leeds, Everton, Tottenham and Newcastle. So that's 6 games. We could play those 6 games off camera and come back to the season finale of Liverpool and West Ham. Last time we played Liverpool, how did we do against them? That's a good question. I do think we probably lost. We did 5-2. We got battered by them. How did we do against West Ham the last time we played them? We lost 1-0. Oh, I think I've talked myself into that. Let's do that. We're going to come back. It's a bit of a jump, I know. We're just in March now. We're going to play through April. We're going to see where we are. And we're going to come back for those couple of games there and see whether we can end the season where we currently find ourselves, which is only 2 points behind Spurs. And we've got Spurs to play. How did we do the last time we played Spurs, actually? That's a good question. That's an answer I want. We drew against them. Okay. Alright. Cool. I think that's a good plan. We'll come back for the end of the season. But until then, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on there for me. And subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content to come in the future. I'm Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.